coverage of the Greater Philadelphia Open. 5 bowlers in competition for tour exemption. Big prize money and valuable points. The pressure-packed tour season continues right now. Let's meet the final 5 from Las Vegas, Nevada. 5 career titles, including the 1992 PBA National Championship. Forkel. A PBA Hall of Famer from nearby Jackson, New Jersey, with 29 titles. One of 15 players to ball 300 on television. Bohn III. The 1988 PBA Rookie of the Year. His 2 career titles include the 1997 PBA National Championship from Wichita, Kansas. Steelsmith. From Tarrytown, New York, he is 7th in the PBA World Rankings with 1 career title. Patrick Allen. Making his 2nd consecutive TV appearance after finishing 3rd last week in Toledo with 10 career wins. Hailing from Baltimore, Maryland, Danny Wiseman. There's our final 5 today from suburban Philly. Randy Peterson with Dave Ryan. Let's check in with the brackets. Exciting action today, Randy, again.
In the wild card match, Eric Forkel, who was the top qualifier this week, takes on 2-time PBA Player of the Year Parker Bohn III. And in semifinal number 1, Rick Steelsmith, looking for his first win since 1997, takes on Patrick Allen, making his 2nd TV appearance of the season. Danny Wiseman, looking to capitalize in his 2nd straight week on the show, waits for the wild card winner in semifinal number 2.
We are glad to introduce the 3rd member of our broadcast crew today, Laneside, Leslie Goodell with Parker Bohn III.
You know, Dave, it's been a long couple of days for this guy, and Parker, after struggling in the first round of qualifying on Thursday, would you have thought you'd be here today?
No, Leslie, I actually went home. I thought my tournament was completed. I was looking forward to next week, and lo and behold, Friday morning came around, and well, it leads to a 299 qualifying me for the top 32, and here I am today.
Well, and to put it in perspective, 3 matches, 20 games yesterday for Parker Bohn, so he's going to need that stamina today too, Dave.
Leslie, that he will. An hour 30-minute drive to his home in Jackson, New Jersey, and had to quickly turn around and make the trip back to suburban Philly. Unfortunately for our Randy Peterson, the defending champion, Parker's great 299 game bounced you out.
Yeah, I missed by 2 pins. Thanks a lot, Parker.
But that incredible week for Parker Bohn III propels him to a match here at Forkl, and we are underway. Good start for Forkl on lane 23.
That's one. The man with the shades piping it up the rail. Nice little start for Eric.
2nd TV appearance of the season, Parker Bohn III. Hall of Famer, another lefty. Tough start for one of our 3 southpaws on the show today. We'll get into that in further depth later in the broadcast. To get here, did defeat Forkel, so a rematch for Parker Bohn III here in the wild card match. 12-8 match play record, just over a 219 average for him. Heading on the show, tough split, trying to kick it across the deck for the 7-pin cannot. And an open frame early for Parker Bohn III. The last thing he wanted, Randy, as we check in with the Baby Ruth Real Deal matchup.
Yeah, look at this here. The average, almost 7 pins a game higher than Parker Bohn III. One of the reasons why Eric Forkel led the qualifying portion of this tournament. And you know, Dave Ryan, that match last night with Eric and Parker actually had Eric down 3-0. Eric comes back, wins the next 3 games to force a Game 7.
Also on TV in Chicago, finished 4th. And another difficult split for him. Look out. Having trouble with his read and adjustments.
Well, the same kind of thing he left on the right lane. This ball just never grabs the lane. Leaves the 3-6-7-9. All that practice and warm-up. One of the things that Parker told me about, on the left side of the lane, they don't really dry the lanes out. They carry the oil down the lane. When you carry oil down the lane, you get back.
Trying to pick up a split here. Look out. He whiffs on all 4 pins, and a disastrous start to the day For Parker Bohn III, the legendary Hall of Famer knows it can only get better for him.
Wow.
Oof. And look at the huge lead already for Forkel, who's just thrown a strike in his first frame. He's won $13,500 already this year. Close to his entire winnings from last season, which he'd like to forget. Nearly crossing over the head pin, coming high from the left-hand side. And the 2 in the 4 still up.
And something a little unusual right off the get-go. Eric Forkel's ball is actually hooking more than Parker's ball. Eric's more of a down and in player. I'm more of a down and out kind of player because I'm kind of down and out.
Spare conversion rate, Forkel 92.6, fourth of our 5 competitors. And suburban Philly started wearing those sunglasses a few years ago at the outdoor event in New York City, making some history in Manhattan at Bryant Park. He won that event. And then when he appeared in his next show in Akron, Ohio, decided, I might as well just stay with the glasses.
He said it helps with the TV lights. It is bright out there. Talked about having some fun with Drew Carey in that outdoor event. Drew Carey said he thought it looked pretty cool. Eric just kind of stayed with it.
Top of your screen, see the bright lights that can vastly alter the oil pattern and the temperature for the players. It's much different. That's a big ball there from Forkel. A big difference than you see even in the round of 8 last night with the 4 matches going on at once here in suburban Philly.
Eric Forkel playing around the 8th or 9th board on the left side. And there are numbers that are set up for the left lane for our left-handers. They go in the opposite direction on the right lane.
2-4 there for Parker Bohn III, who absolutely horrific beginning with 2 opens in the first and second to begin his match.
Well, you go light, and the logical move is to try to get your ball to face the pocket by not getting it as far to the left. Parker does that, and the ball doesn't hold line.
Parker's big theme to us, Randy, and speaking with him as wife Leslie watches right behind him there. He's had 9 lives at times on the tour this year. Used up a few after going home to Jersey, as he and Leslie talked about a few moments ago. Having to come back, barely making his time. Continuing qualifying, beat you just by that narrow margin. Well, he's using up more of his lives along the way. He said he's used 6 so far. I think he's into the 7th and 8th with this terrible start.
Yeah, I agree. First round, he qualified 61st. We only take 64 out of the first round. He makes it into the round of 32 by that big 299 game, the last game of qualifying.
Trying to get something going. A little help across the deck. Can't for the 7-pin. It stands. Made the show in Chicago, 4th place. The event won by Jason Couch, another lefty, and the only lefty to win on tour so far this year. There's the single pin conversion numbers. So many misses. It's been unusual. Not here for Parker, though.
I'm making a spare again.
72nd for Bohn III in Grand Rapids, 87th in Toledo last week. And the show one more time.
Straight. I'm just going the wrong way.
Trying to figure it out, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's got, every professional bowler's nightmare right now. He gets it a little bit to the left, it hangs, gets it going up the lane, it goes high. The next move would be to flip a coin.
27th career TV appearance. Eric Forkel is in his own. Lush in the pocket with that ball. He was recently moved, as we mentioned in the introductions, to Las Vegas, a Southern California native, much like yourself.
I used to bowl juniors back in the early 70s with Eric Forkel. As you see that ball just perfect into the pocket. Eric Forkel is using a bowling ball that's a very rolling kind of bowling ball. The core of the ball gets that ball to really start rolling heavily. The outer shell of the ball gets it to skid through the front part of the lane, and I think that's why you're seeing that big back-end reaction from Eric Forkel.
And with the 4,100 plus pinfall, that is why he is the wild card this week, highest qualifier prior to match play, who lost in the round of 8, as he did last night, to Parker Bohn III. And some help. Down goes number 7. 2-4
That's a nice break, especially when you're working on a strike or two.
The Hall of Famer, inducted in 2000, has got to rebound, and quickly. 46-pin deficit. 4 of 5 frames. Forkel has struck, sparing in the second. A little help, avoids a double wood. The 3 still stands for Parker, who needs marks in a hurry.
Parker's real confused with his ball reaction. In match play, Parker averaged almost an open a game. And early on, you could see the same kind of stuff he's going through. Just bad ball reaction. Bad ball reaction, not necessarily making bad shots.
Consistent career of Parker Bohn III. 15 years in a row now, has made multiple TV appearances. Has done it in 16 of the past 17 years on tour.
They're going to shoot single pin spares, throw it hard and straight. Oh!
Look out!
What, are we at a hockey game? Puck right through the glass?
But I don't think we need a time delay to remove the glass.
Yeah.
Half an hour or so as they would with the Flyers. It's about 20 minutes away from their arena. Lincoln Financial Field, home of the Eagles. Down goes Parker Bohn III. But he wasn't tackled like on a football field the way the Eagles and Giants are today. Gets a break in the 7th pin. He is still down by 47 pins. The wild card match between Forkel and Bohn III continues. When we return, we'll talk oil as well. ESPN's exclusive live coverage of the PBA Greater Philadelphia Open is brought to you by Uniroyal, the official tire of the PBA Tour. Uniroyal tire is trusted by American families since 1892. By Geico, a 15-minute phone call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by the official candy bar of the PBA, Baby Ruth from Nestle, the real deal. You get yourself on the Route 95 right into downtown Philadelphia and some of the historic sites. Readily available and a great crowd in suburban Philly as well. Welcome back with our great crew. Leslie Goodell Laneside, Dave Ryan, Randy Peterson. Southpaw success for Randy has been a big theme. 3rd time this year already. We've had 3 lefties on the show, but so far just 1 winner in Jason Couch.
Yeah, well, I think the left-handers have had a really good look with the exception of 1 or 2 tournaments, and they've really taken advantage of that. Mike Scroggins, a couple of shows for him, but Jason Couch, the only winner this year. And the reason why is because the lefties haven't had any success on television. They're averaging 193 against the righties. One guy that does know how to win, however, is Danny Wiseman. Last year, he made back-to-back shows, finishing 2nd to Brian Voss in Memphis, and coming back with a big win in Chicago. He made the show last week, finished 3rd, looking to repeat what he did last year, coming away with a victory today.
Danny Wiseman is always up for a challenge. One of the most emotional and flamboyant bowlers on tour. Always fun to watch. Oil pattern D this week certainly has been challenging for many, although you had a great run at it, coming very close to making the show.
Yeah, I did. Missed by 2 pins, but we had a fun week being the defending champ. It's always fun. But the left-handers are going to play the outside part of the lane, and you're already seeing it with Parker Bohn, the carry down. The righties will move in, and they'll throw it to that spot down the lane. The thing about bowling on wood lanes, when you get in an arena like we have now, the temperature of the lights, the oil starts to heat up, and when oil heats up, guess what? It goes away. What we got to look for today is if the middle part of the lane holds up and the front part of the lane, the heads, if that holds up as well, the scores could be good. The riders will play where they're playing all week, and the lefties should have a good shot to the pocket. So it all depends basically on how the lanes break down.
31.5 milliliters of oil. Normally 25 milliliters are used. So a lot more oil than normal. And to find out about oil patterns, much more, log on. The best website in bowling, PBA.com. See the archive replays of our ESPN telecast, the latest news from the PBA regional and senior tours. Bookmark it. Click on today. Back to the wild card. But a tough start for Parker Bohn and a good start for Eric Forkel. Leaves the 7th.
That was a pretty good shot, actually. Not bad for a commercial break.
See what our guys did in Kansas City on the same pattern, although this pattern was tweaked just a bit. Rick Steelsmith, obviously the best showing And Rick Steelsmith's been bowling great all year.
Converts his mark 7-pin. Eric Forkel, who did not bowl in the first 2 tour stops of our season in Greater Omaha and Kansas City, broke his toe, the 4th toe over right foot. Unfortunately, middle of the night, it was dark in his room, ran into a lamp. Had x-rays the next day. Doctor said, guess what? You fractured it. And he said, but doc, 2 days from now, I've got to leave for the tour. She said, no.
Yeah.
The best thing, take a couple days off, at least off of your feet, and let it rest.
Not a good idea to come back out with a broken toe.
He likes it.
Hard to see what's going on behind those shades, but Eric Forkel appears to be very confident right now, and he should. He's got a good look, good ball reaction, and he's got a big lead.
46 pins. Parker Bohn's 7th frame for him. Works on a strike chance to reduce it to 36. Needs all 10 down in the pit right now. 7th frame for the Hall of Famer. That does it. There's his wife Leslie on the right.
Actually,
Dad is here as well. Parker Bohn, the 2nd.
that was impressive. Good shot. Should try to do that again. It's amazing. It can improve your score.
Parker's been around a long time, folks. We know about that. All those career titles, 29 of them. And knows how to work a crowd with the best of them, no question. By the way, the Bohn's little baby boy, Justin, is here. Born April 18th in New Jersey. He's the back being watched by other folks right now, trying to get things going.
He just made a ball change, Dave. He went to a ball that is more skid flippy down the lane. Look at it skid, and now this ball, it really recovers where his other ball didn't.
Turkey time for Parker then, 3 in a row, 6th, 7th, and 8th. There are the max numbers now. Forkl. Works on strike, 8th frame. Right,
No
turn
bone.
lead.
No bone. No bone today. No bone.
Classic, old school style, Eric Forkel. Watch this ball, perfect in the pocket.
Talked to Eric last night at length about the exempt tour. 36-pin lead. Looks for the turkey ball now.
Calm down. Calm down.
He says it's way too early to worry about the exempt status. Only 6 events in. Strike numbers at 75% today. Interesting answer.
Easy for him to say. He's on television today.
On lane 23. Oh, 8-pin.
Yeah, and that was the shot that was going to end Parker's
That was
day.
pretty good.
Because that would have put Eric into the 230s. The best Parker can shoot is 223. And Eric needs to cover the 8-pin
You threw that ball pretty freaking good.
and fill the 10th frame. He's going to be a winner.
Parker's working on the thumb hole. He talked to us in Chicago about adding some cork into it. He's fit a lot with his layout, his equipment this year. The cork apparently is gone, according to Parker in the interview after last night. There goes the 8-pin for Eric Forkel. They're having a lot of adjustments. We are marching to the PBA World Championship
Good for
in
9.
Ypsilanti, Michigan, the Eastern Michigan University campus this year. Brad Angelo, last year's Rookie of the Year, has made one show, the season opener in Omaha. He is the leader. Amleta was on our show last week. Mika Koivunemi, back-to-back shows earlier in the season, but no wins yet.
Tommy DeLute's the only player in the top 8 that's even in the top 10 right now in statistics, but he is in the top 8 for the season-ending tournament.
Points, folks, are huge this year because the top 50 are exempt next season. We may have 20 different winners. We'll have a 6th different winner this week. The rest will come on tour points in that 50. Through our shattered plexiglass, we see the lane level look.
10 times.
Parker's ball.
Yeah, this match is over. Eric Forkel is going to go on, and Parker just fought with his ball reaction all day.
No bone.
I mean, Eric looks almost sedated. He's so calm.
Last night.
Ooh, a little payback for last night.
Where he lost to Parker in 7 in the round of 8, trying to kick it across the deck to the 7-pin. And cannot do that. 3 open frames do in Parker Bohn III. And Eric Forkel, who so far does not have a win in his career against Danny Wiseman, will take on the electrifying right-hander.
It's been a while. I don't know.
In one semifinal match. We'll fast track this to the end. Tournament officials telling Eric, hey, we can just keep this thing going. And Eric said, it's been a while. Since I've been on TV, hasn't been on television in the last 40 events. No win in his last 71. Rick Steelsmith, Patrick Allen. Another left-hander in the first semifinal. That is coming up. Here's our next match.
It's okay.
They've never met before on TV. Steelsmith Allen. What does Parker take from this week?
Well, I think that Parker's looking at about a $9,000 gift because he didn't think he was going to make any money this week. Got extended play, got the games under his belt, got some more practice. I mean, it's just going to be real fresh and ready for next week. Even though he bowled a lot of games, you know, it's really good practice. It keeps your body going. And not only that, but you're in the heat of the battle. Mentally, you're able to handle stuff like that as well.
Not bad for an old guy. Not bad for the old guy.
43 years old, to be exact. Waves goodbye to that last pin and bids adieu to Parker Bohn III. He is off to the semifinals.
Well, Eric, you may be an old guy, but winning never gets old. And, you know, he talked to us last night about it. He says, you know, Randy, it's been a long time for me, but you don't forget how to win.
Almost.
Great effort for Eric Forkel, one of 3 left-handers on the show today. 226 to 166. He is off to the semifinals. It has been so long since he's won on tour, and a chance to advance one step closer. One for the old guys. Much more coming up from Philly next. Bowling was on everyone's minds in Philadelphia this week. Eagle star Brian Westbrook hosted a celebrity bowling night to benefit the Philadelphia Variety Club. His Eagle teammates came out to lend a hand as well. And PBA star Jason Couch stopped by to show them how it's done. And on Friday, Flyers center Jeremy Roenick stopped by Sproul Lanes to bowl with PBA Hall of Famer and huge hockey fan Mike Albee. Roenick is a 6-time NHL All-Star, showed pretty good form on the lanes as well. Mike Machuga offered to help JR with his form. After watching the pros, Roenick had a newfound respect for the PBA, having a great time here at Sproul Lanes.
Hockey does not, ladies and gentlemen. Work on those forearms.
A trick shot from Mike Machuga earned himself a couple of tickets to see the Flyers against the Atlanta Thrashers. Philadelphia won that game at the Wachovia Center last night. Patrick Allen, another left-hander, joined by Leslie Goodell.
Well, Dave, he has a cold. He's a little more tired than usual, and on top of it, you struggled with your timing a little bit yesterday. How did you prepare for today?
Well, I talked to Doug Kent and Del Ballard, and they just said slow down and just believe in yourself and just don't get fast. That's my big problem when I get into pressure situations. I get a little quick.
Well, and he said himself yesterday that he got some good breaks to get here, so a few more of those wouldn't hurt today. Dave?
Interesting road to the TV show, Leslie, for PA Patrick Allen. Lefty going against Rick Steelsmith. 39 years old from Wichita, Kansas. Yet another one of the Wichita Wheat Shocker alums on the PBA Tour. Randy, there are several, including Chris Barnes, Patrick Haley Jr., Lonnie Walchek.
A couple of rookies on the tour, Tim Pinner and Matt McFadden. How do you say Matt? McFadden. Yeah, Matt McFadden.
2 appeal titles for Rick. It's been a while since he's won in the same boat, really, with Eric Forkel on those lines. 1 pin up for him, just the 1 singles title, but it was a major, the World Championship Toledo, March of 2002. That's when he was in his last show. His national championship win came in Toledo against Brian Voss in '97. Beat BV 218 to 190 that day and takes care of the two-pin spin.
In my opinion, Rick Steelsmith, probably the best player on tour with only 2 titles. Hard to believe when you watch him bowl, he's only won twice out on this tour.
Certainly the best golfer with only 2 titles on tour.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 3 handicap.
Much like yourself, those single handicap guys. Coming in high is Patrick Allen, and the 4-pin remains for him. Second TV appearance of the season. We saw him at the Miller High Life Open in Chicagoland, where he lost to Mika Koivuniemi. The big Finn, 257 to 203. That was back on October 26th. Let's focus in close on the eyes of Patrick Allen. Takes care of that single pin spare. Baby Ruth, real deal matchup. Steelsmith and Allen ready.
Big average difference here. Spare percentage about the same. You know, the one thing, though, even though that strike average is a lot lower for Rick Steelsmith, last night against Tony Reyes in Game 7, Rick Steelsmith needed to strike out in the 9th and 10th frame and change to a ball he hadn't used the entire day. Struck in the 9th, set up his 10th frame, and ended up striking out to defeat Tony Reyes. One of the gutsiest moves we've ever seen. I was standing with Del Ballard and Jeff Lizzie, and I need it. He made the decision, he changed balls, and he pured the shot.
A little reset there for Patrick Allen. The shot clock rolls. It's at 10. Pretty heavy fine involved if you have a violation. Shot clock to 3. The side of the screen there. He does get the release and the strike.
Oh, that ball do that. Patrick Allen looks down at his hand and the ball at the start to get his hand position where he wants it. Watch the 4-pin go to the sidewall and just chop the 7 out. When you're rolling it pure off your hand, that's the kind of pin action you get.
All even. His wife Roxanne, daughter Kayla, son Kyle watching back home. Big ball for Rick Steelsmith. And watching in suburban Wichita, Kansas. Got by Reyes, as we mentioned, that thriller in 7 games here last night. 12-6 match play record over a 219 average for Rick Steelsmith in the 3 best of 7 wins.
Yeah, and Rick Steelsmith using 2 different balls.
We mentioned it's been a long time for Rick. First TV appearance for him in 23 events. Has not won in 112 events. Looking for the first time in a long time. On lane 23, it's high. Gets a break, though. 10 gets tripped late. 3 stands.
When a player uses 2 different balls, it's not because he's trying to get more airtime for a certain company. It's because both lanes are playing different. Rick Steelsmith on the left lane is using a ball that rolls much earlier than the ball he's using on the right lane.
Just mention that fact, how long it's been. And with the Chief Brian Himmler, a long time since he had won. He won earlier this year. Same goes for Steve Jarris. Last week, one on the bench watching the fantastic rookie Chris Johnson, as we'll talk about later in the show, miss a spare with a chance to win the tournament. So we've had a theme this year of repeat champions who have not won in a long time. Same goes really for Patrick Allen. He's in that same category. He's right on the bubble for the Dexter Tournament of Champions. A new winner this week, and he's out. Oh! He did the 3rd to be knocked out this year. He knocks down the 7 late there. Next week, the PBA Tour rolls on to Latham, New York. Capital City District of New York State. PBA Empire State Open. The action starts at always at 1 o'clock Eastern Time here on ESPN 10 on the West Coast. Don't miss the best bowlers in the world from Latham. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Doug Kent, the defending champ.
Patrick Allen's roommate.
Doug Kent also very close to the Bohn family. One of the people who called Parker up and said, let's check out the numbers here. Just looking at it, there's a chance you might need to return very quickly to bowl again. He thought he was done. pure as that ball.
Early on, Patrick Allen's ball reaction looks pretty good. This ball is just dead flush. He got the nice break where the 4 went to the 7 and cut the 7 pin out. Then he comes back with a messenger. That one's dead flush perfect, and Rick Steelsmith needs to get on his horse and on it now.
Eric Forkel, as we'll document in his next match, the semifinals, has endured some terrible injury issues. We talked about the toe. That pales in comparison to what Eric has been through. Solid 10-pin there for Rick Steelsmith. Rick has also been through a lot of injury issues, rotator cuff, and now some fresh problems as well.
Well, he's had wrist surgery, or a wrist injury, shoulder surgery. He's got 2 bad hips right now and a bad back. In fact, he called his doctor at home. His doctor had to phone in a prescription for him. He's been taking that all week, and that pretty much stems back from Grand Rapids, where we had issues with the approaches in Grand Rapids. They were real tacky, real sticky.
Had to sit out a year and a half, 88 through 89 seasons with a rotator cuff after surgery. The winter tour segment of 93 had to sit that out too because of rotator cuff problems, just recurring issues. So, folks, if you think this is not a physically demanding sport, think again.
Yeah, well, I'd like to see some guys come in and wait or be in the bowling center 15 hours, bowl 21 games in one day, and then try to get up the next day and do it again.
What did Jeremy Roenick say, the Flyers?
Yeah, his forearms. I think he bowled like 2 games. He said his forearm was killing him.
And I'd say hockey is one of the most incredibly physically demanding sports. Extraordinary endurance and strength of any, but bowlers are tough guys too.
1-game match on television. You hope and pray that you have a good ball reaction, and then you can execute shots. Steelsmith's executing the shot. He's got a bad ball reaction, and maybe the wrong choice of equipment on that left lane.
Trying to stay perfect. Took on a personal trainer in the offseason. Works in Wichita with the likes of Lonnie Wallachek. One-time work with the White Sox and has really reorganized his physical dedication. Patrick Allen this week. The road to the show for him. 12-3 match play record. Over a .225 average in those 3 best-of-7 wins. Pretty dominant over Patrick Hill Jr., who made the show last week in the round of 8 here last night. Another pure ball.
Come on. Come on. First show that he made earlier in the season, afterwards he said, Randy, I just couldn't crowbar it off my hand if I tried.
Talk to me, Randy. Talk to me.
Now he's just puring it.
Were you talking to him?
No, I wasn't, but he talked to me before we went on the air. He said,
right.
Randy, this one's for you, Hoss.
Was it Hoss or Bro?
Hoss.
Very common in the vernacular of PA, Patrick Allen. Lane level look. The board numbers for the lefties on lane 23. Another flush ball. 60 feet to success for Patrick Allen.
You can hear those guys in the back.
We'll hear about other results. Round of 32 match play. It got us to our TV show today here in Greater Philadelphia. Exciting semifinal match concludes as well. A 5-bagger for Patrick Allen means a 42-pin lead. As we welcome you back to Sproul Lanes, the PBA Greater Philadelphia Open, middle of our first semifinal. Allen has a big advantage taking on Rick Steelsmith. Randy breaks down the veterans game in this week's Dexter Approach.
We got a little bit of everything here. Eric Forkel, old school, nice and upright and direct. Parker Bohn III, the Hall of Famer, a little bit more body lean. And then PA, Patrick Allen, the cranker. Look at the body lean here versus here and almost straight up and down here. The more lean you have, the more you're going to feed it to the outside part of the lane.
And later on, we will give you the Dexter Approach. A little ahead of the game there. Here is the 6th frame for Steelsmith. Down 42. Big hole for Rick. Can he rebound? 10-pin.
Well, good shot. He's zeroed in on that lane. And unfortunately, carry issues for Rick Steelsmith.
worked with the physical fitness trainers we talked about, who saw similarities in the bowling release to a pitcher's motion in baseball. And Rick told us in about 3 weeks he felt the difference after starting his new workout regime.
Yeah, you know, and you can really see it in his game. One of the things that's real important for Rick is a nice solid base, a nice solid foundation when he gets to the foul line, because he kind of throws it like a straight player, but he hooks it.
More isolation with the proper muscle groups for the bowlers, really tailor-made for the PBA. Wow. Big ball there for Steelsmith. That's become a common theme, guys. Really shoring up in the physical end with the exempt tour next year. Saying hi to his kids back home.
Yeah, that was a big ball change as well for him. Gave him a much better look on that left lane.
As we promised you, other scores, those who are not in the show but had great weeks, including Tony Reyes, a thrilling round of 8 match last night. Went down to the last shot. Probably loses this ball very well himself. There's the 6-10 up, but has not made a show yet.
Well, that was just a huge break that Patrick Allen just got, because that could have been a 6-pin, big, ugly, nasty split. 3 in the 7 falling late. Leaves himself the easy 6-10. Goes to a plastic ball that doesn't hook. He's going to throw it straight and hard, cross lane.
Picks up 6-10. There you saw Mike Scroggins, who had the 3 shows in a row earlier this year. He's had a great year on the points list, but still, like Patrick Allen, has not won on tour. As promised, with the pin being cleared there on lane 24, let's look in with the Dexter approach.
And Rick Steelsmith, like I said earlier, he's got a classic straight approach and a cranker's mentality. What I want you to watch is his head. Watch the head movement. Now, very steady head until he gets to the 4-step. Look at the deep knee bend. That helps to set up his slide, where he enters the slide perfectly on balance. Now remember, it looks like a stroker's game until right here. Watch how he just bangs on it at the bottom of the swing. That's where he creates all that power.
This week's Dexter approach, that's Patrick Allen. He stays hot, 8th frame. 41-pin lead. Still talking to you.
That's probably because you can hear my big mouth up here in the booth. Sorry, PA, I'll tone it down for you.
Looking for a double now is Rick Steelsmith. Down 31 if he can do it. And a very interesting summer in suburban Wichita. On line 24. Oh, looks for help. Doesn't get it with the 9.
Nice effort.
It was a good ball.
Sure was, and he's this guy's snake bit. Making the shots he needs to make. Made the ball change. Goes ring and 10, solid 9 on this lane. And right now he needs a lot of help from PA, Patrick Allen.
Mentioned Rick's a great golfer, a 3 handicap. Spent the summer caddying at Flint Hills Country Club near Wichita. Said it was a great experience.
So you love just being out, being around the some of the members. Big avid golfer.
No tap.
Yeah, if this was no tap, Rick would be perfect through 8 frames, because he only has 2 strikes and 6 9 spares.
Also involved as an associate coach with the Wichita State bowling program. He's produced so many All-Americans, including Rick himself. Head coach Gordon Vatican. We imagine the Shockers are watching right now as we speak. Works out there on-campus center as well, an 8-lane facility. He likes being in that atmosphere. There's a 2-pin.
And another 9 count.
All too common for Rick today.
Look out.
Missed that.
It's over.
Wow.
He knows it's over. Saturday night, Bill Parcells returning to New England, facing his former pupil, Bill Belichick. Quincy Carter, Terry Glenn and the Cowboys take on Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. Big matchup tonight on ESPN, 8:30 Eastern Time. Also available on ESPN HD. Patrick Allen staying red hot He is the winner. He'll take the semifinal match and go to the final. Bidding for his second ever career title. Patrick has told us several times this year he's lost sleep over the all-exempt status next year. Forkel Wiseman, that's coming up next. Eric Forkel, first time he's been on TV in 40 events. Always interesting to watch Danny Wiseman.
Left-handers turning the table on the righties today, Dave. The best Rick Steelsmith can shoot is 195. Patrick Allen's going to be in the 230s.
Jeez. Christ. God. Patrick, very outspoken, doesn't like the fact that only 50 bowlers are guaranteed a spot next year. He'd like to see the number more 80. A lot of great bowlers will not have a job in that all-exempt, exciting field of 64 next year. Patrick has got a great chance now as he's clinched the semifinal match with Steelsmith to get right in that elite field and clinch the spot. Become the 6th different winner on tour in 6 events.
Well, he's well on his way, even if he doesn't win, with 2 telecasts. He bowls well just about every week, and you know, you can bet that if you see the left side of the lane playing as well as the right side, Patrick Allen's going to be there.
Great effort, Patrick Allen. Rick Steelsmith making his first appearance in such a long time. His week comes to an end, but he bowled so well, making our show. We'll also have the exciting match, Forkel and Wiseman. Danny's 2-0 on TV lifetime against Eric Forkel. ESPN's exclusive live coverage of the PBA Greater Philadelphia Open is brought to you by Bayer Aspirin. Take it for pain, take it for life. By Cambridge Credit Counseling, log on to nodebt.com and find out how good it feels to be debt-free. And by Dexter, bowling, golf, and casual, we have the right shoe for you. This is the 38th event all time, PBA Tour in the state of Pennsylvania, 5th in the Philly area, and 2nd consecutive in Springfield, PA. That's because last year, our very own Randy Peterson won his last PBA title. We look back in this week's Miller Milestones.
Prior to the win in Philly, I felt like the guy that couldn't bowl anymore, that couldn't get it done on the lanes. And my new job was now broadcasting. I think that, number one, me winning gave me instant credibility. You know, I am the TV analyst and the expert. Number two, it was very big emotionally, mentally. I just had a lot more confidence in everything that I was doing that was related to the PBA Tour. When I got to the show, it was like, you know, what am I doing here? I'm supposed to be up in the booth. What am I doing here? And it took me a game to get back to that spot, that mental place, the happy place. You hear these younger guys that talk about getting up in the 10th frame and wanting to throw 3 strikes in the 10th frame to beat the best in the world. And I got to be honest with you, when you're 41 years old, you don't want to have to get up in the 10th frame and strike out to win. You don't care how they come, as long as you win. When I threw that strike to beat Chris Barnes for the title, the first thought that went through my mind was my kids and my wife. I love you, kids. Becky, I can't believe it. I got a really good taste of what winning's like. It's been 3 years since I'd won. Sorry, ESPN. I still feel like I'm a player, and I'm going out to try to win again.
What a moment for our very own Randy Peterson. We know he's still a player in there, competing every week and trying for that all-exempt status for next year. It was so emotional a year ago. Danny Wiseman trying to make it happen again. Back-to-back shows for him. The last time it happened, he won in Chicagoland after the thriller last year, head-to-head with Brian Voss. The flamboyant Danny Wiseman, always entertaining to watch. Head-to-head with another lefty, Eric Forkel, semifinal when we return. Standing 6'7" tall and weighing 265 pounds, Steve Cook is by far the tallest PBA champion ever. In 1983, he captured the Touring Players Championship over Steve Wunderlich in Limerick, Pennsylvania. It was the 7th of his 15 career wins on tour. Cook, all 6'7" of him, was inducted into the PBA Hall of Fame in 1993. Danny Wiseman last year, after the great match with Brian Voss where he lost it in Memphis, came back to beat Walter Ray Williams the next week in Chicagoland by 40 pins. Can he repeat the feat and win again? He's joined by Leslie.
He's dealing with a lot of pain in his wrist, Dave. You've been dealing with this most of the season. What have you done to minimize the pain, and how does it feel?
Oh, Leslie, 2 weeks ago I hurt it. I did something to my joint, and I've been playing around with different things. Today I actually have a grip on to alleviate the pain off of the callus that's underneath there, and plus I just got it wrapped up to keep it tight. So going to the doctor Monday.
Little extra incentive, though. You're from right down the road in Baltimore, a little over an hour away. Your family's here, your girlfriend's here. How does that play into your favor?
Yeah, I think that, you know, there's some people here from Baltimore. It's right down the road, so I think I got a little bit of support. So bring it on!
Thanks, Dave.
What do we say, Leslie, about being flamboyant? He is always interesting. His girlfriend here from California, met her last night.
Oh, well.
Takes on the veteran lefty, 43 years young, Eric Forkel, who said one for the old guys after he beat Parker Bohn III. Nice numbers for Eric in that opener. Disastrous for Parker. Open frames all over the place.
Right where we left off.
Oh, yeah, and you know what? It is on, and there will be some trash talking going on in this match. Because Eric certainly isn't going to back down from Danny, and Danny, well, he doesn't back down to or from anybody, so there's going to be a lot of trash talking, I think, Dave.
Bid for an 11th career title, Randy, today for Danny Wiseman. Saw a chiropractor last week in Toledo. He mentioned the injury issues with Leslie a moment ago. Work on that wrist problem. This is coming off the toe surgery. Yeah, the same procedure Shaquille O'Neal had. Remember how much that sideline Shaq. Danny had the surgery just after the World Championship last year and was essentially out of bowling for 3 months.
Operating on Shaq's toe is kind of like operating on somebody's leg, though, isn't it? How big is that shoe? Like 25 or something?
Went down
a big toe.
PDW went down to him in the round of 8. And a good start for Danny Wiseman. Baby Ruth, real deal matchup, Randy.
Yeah, and you know what? This is going to be one of the tightest matches we're going to see. Everything is pretty much even all the way around the board with the exception of spare conversion. However, I don't know if this match is going to be determined by who makes the most spares. I think this is going to be determined by who strikes more than their opponent. Interesting to see right off the bat that Danny's going much straighter than Rick Steelsmith did. It's going to come down to who's got the better ball reaction and who makes the best shots.
Amongst the TV numbers, 10-4 in title matches. Gets late help over a 230 average if he makes the title match in his great career in the 10 wins. Trying to do that today against Eric Forkel.
Danny Wiseman going pretty straight right around the second arrow. We saw Rick Steelsmith using 2 different bowling balls, playing much deeper. Danny using the same ball, going nice and straight and direct. See if it works. Adjusting some tape in the thumb hole for Danny.
Back to the lefty from Las Vegas. 4-7 for
Explain the going touch. Gotta get
Eric
left.
Forkel.
That's not what you want to happen right before you go on the air, is to lose a feel in the thumb hole. Danny's adjusting tape front to back. Try to get a good feel. Danny's one of the few players on the tour that actually uses a really, really tight thumb hole. Chris Barnes is another player that comes to mind who, I mean, they literally have to jam their thumb in the thumb hole. Guys like myself, Del Ballard, Rick Steelsmith, we like to have that thing big so we can get in there and grab on it.
That shot was ass. Come on. A little better pitch here.
Eric obviously not pleased with his last shot. You know what? I'm just going to lay out and let the guys do the rest of the match for us. Dave Ryan, let me know when it's my turn.
All even. Forkel, third frame, works on a spare. On lane 23.
That's what I'm talking about.
So funny to listen to Eric compete on TV, Randy, because We met with him last night. He couldn't be more mild-mannered, soft-spoken.
Yeah, and that's the way that's the way he is. But you know, when you get in the heat of battle, you know, PA talked about it. You know, he has to look for that evil, like his evil twin, to come out. That's what happens, man. When you're out there battling for your career, anything can happen.
Flush strike there for Wiseman and a 10-pin lead. We're coming here from Sproul Lanes, Springfield, PA, just outside the great city of Philadelphia. Greater Philadelphia Open. Dave Ryan, Randy Peterson, Leslie Goodell, lane level with us. And our great crew as our live coverage continues. We've seen Steelsmith go down to Patrick Allen. He's in the final against either Forkel or Wiseman. And the native of Baltimore, 10-pin lead. Obviously, he's ready.
Take a look. Danny Wiseman's he came with a game plan, and that game plan was to attack the pocket from further right and much more direct. And watch this reaction. Yeah, it's game on.
5 players since match play began in 2001 from the wild card spot as Eric Forkel is now down 20. Working on strike. 5 have won the tournament. The end of last season in Dallas, Chris Barnes did it. He was the last to complete that.
Why didn't I go down? That's
wondering why the wiggling 10 is still wiggling.
Trusted it. Didn't make it.
It's just something's not adding up here for me, Dave. You know, looking at Eric with those shades on, it sounds like he should say something more like, "I must break you." Don't you think? I mean,
was that Arnold?
Yeah, Arnold.
Governor-elect Schwarzenegger. Finishing out, 4th frame, 10-pin. Takes the traditional old-school hook at it.
Got to show him you're still around. Don't let him run away. Don't let him run away. Stay near.
Eric told us last night, after making the show this week, getting back into the groove where he had his good years. It's going back to the 90s now. Finally feeling like himself again. Early 90s, endured an extraordinary injury. Oh, avoids the 7-10. 7 still up. Repairing a skylight in his home.
Right,
fell
love
and
went away.
broke his back.
Take a look at this where Eric gets a nice break, not leaving the blowout 7-10, but not carrying either. Might break his back in this match. He's thrown 3 quality shots in a row. He's only got 1 strike to show for it. And his opponent, Danny Wiseman's working on 3 in a row.
He didn't need surgery. Was hospitalized 3 weeks. And went through tireless months of painful rehabilitation to get himself back to where he was physically and mentally. And Eric told us last night, you know what? I don't want to think about that anymore. That was a different phase of my life. It is an extraordinary story. He acknowledges that, but he has tried, at least psychologically, to move on.
Yeah, he was lucky to be alive after that, and obviously thankful to be back in the position he's in today.
Wiseman stays hot lane, 24. 31-pin lead with a 4-bagger. Be sure to get caught up on all the highlights up to the minute. NFL News live reports with Monday Night Countdown hosted by Stuart Scott starting at 7:30 Eastern Time on ESPN. Monday Night Countdown brings you right up to Monday Night Football, 9 o'clock Eastern on ABC. This week is a showdown between the Niners and Steelers. 2 of the league's most electrifying receivers in the league, Terrell Owens and Hines Ward. Monday Night Countdown to ESPN. Monday Night Football on ABC. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Wiseman, blistering hot. You betcha Danny Wiseman shreds the rack on lane at 23. Look at all the strikes for Wiseman. He's got a 41-pin lead over the lefty Eric Forkel. Wants to win his 11th career title. Forkel stands in his way. We conclude the match next. Amongst the final 5, including Danny Wiseman, 47 career titles, 3 majors, 10 of those championships belong to Danny Wiseman. There's some 1 hour, 15 minutes on the road from here in Philly, his home in Baltimore. And speaking of the road, the day's in on the road. Doug Kent trying to defend his title in Latham, New York. Next week, it leads to Long Island Thanksgiving weekend and the PBA Dexter Tournament of Champions, Mohegan Sun Casino and Resort at Uncasville, Connecticut. Tickets available there on PBA.com. Regionals to talk about, Surfside Beach near Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and Fresno, California as well. San Fernando Valley. 41 pin deficit for Forkel.
Needs to get striking because he's feeling something he didn't feel in his first match against Parker Bohn, and that's a whole lot of pressure.
Lane 24.
Hello.
Touch high. A lot of help. Almost the 7 late. The 4 does get tripped.
Commercial break worked out real well.
The commercial break woes. Players get soft and they go high. It's like, God, if you had the stat for that, it would be like 70 or 80%. This is the only time Eric switches to a spare ball. He goes to a plastic ball when he's trying to shoot cross lane at a 7-pin.
Which he converts with ease. Eric says he always eats in the same restaurant when he wins or does well. Did he have a certain diner or something this week you know of?
I don't know. Do you?
A lot of restaurants around here.
I do not know. You know what? I'm going to go with probably had a cheesesteak.
Safe bet.
Yeah.
Ranked 36th in points. Could he ever get himself up on the list with a win and
now.
exempt status
You're trying now.
into the TOC field?
Yeah, you're trying. All right.
Looked like he really pulled back on that shot at point of release. And when you do that, 9 times out of 10, you're going to pull it. And that's exactly what Eric did there. If you get the upper body leaning too far back at the bottom of the swing, you're going to pull it.
Not been on a show since February 2001. Tar Heel Open near Greensboro, North Carolina. Tournament won by Pete Weber last year. We talked about the all-exempt field. 64 players next year, top 50 spots, including points and winners, and 14 more through the tour trials over the summer, weekly qualifiers, and exemptions. So far, 5 guys are definitely in.
Yeah, you know, the tour qualifier or the tour trials is something you don't want to go through.
Looks for a 6-bagger as Wiseman. Leg help. Cross the pin deck and number 10 goes down. He gets all the help he wanted.
Thank you. Well, it's not very good.
Dale Ballard telling me that this is called the wild turkey when you have 2 sets of 3-baggers. Danny gets the nice messenger and just doing what he does best, throwing wood.
I'd like to welcome Dell aboard as our statistician here in the booth with us. And special thanks to Paul Kaler, who is unfortunately off the tour for now. We wish Paul and his family all the best in their future endeavors. Hope to see him back on tour soon.
Yeah, we're going to miss you, PK.
Did a great job for us last couple years. Trying to stay hot.
Wow.
Scorching hot.
Shredding the rack.
What's that? That was good.
Yes, it was, my friend.
That was a lot better.
That it was. His girlfriend right behind him.
I think Danny likes watching himself on the replays.
Just maybe. Embraces the TV experience without question. 7 in a row for him. Big hole for Forkel, working on a spare 8th frame for Eric. 10 down.
Best Eric Forkel can do now is 225. Danny Wiseman's going at a 250 pace. I think the best thing for Eric Forkel right now, since Eric and Jeremy Roenick, the hockey great, are using the same bowling ball.
For me.
The strategy here would be to go over to Danny Wiseman, pull his shirt over his head, and just start pounding him.
You can have fun. What can you do?
Nothing would surprise me with Danny Wiseman, that's for sure. Here's the lane comparison. Our TV pair today here in suburban Philly with Eric Forkel. No opens yet. Done well in the left lane. He's on it now, lane 23. Late help, very late help. The ball return all coming through. And
These racks are too fast.
a little quick there on the 7-pin. He had hoped it might hang on.
With the exception of 2 balls, Eric Forkel's put every other ball in the pocket. Had 4 shots now that didn't strike when he got there. And that's pretty much the difference in the match. That and the show that Danny Wiseman's putting on.
Looks like Forkel will drop to 0-3 lifetime on TV against Danny Wiseman. Eric, whose daughter is Heather, 20 years old, and Erica, 17, back in California are watching. Erica, high school, Heather at Valley College in SoCal. That's the show Randy referred to. He's just been peering ball after ball. Not a lot of luck involving the strike streak, which continues. And he's wrapped up a spot in the finals against Patrick Allen. First meeting coming up with PA, and that should be a great show.
And as good as Danny Wiseman's look is, it wouldn't surprise me if Danny Wiseman shot 300 in the title match. I mean, that's how good this ball reaction is. With a little bit of carry, and his carry is really, really good right now. Could happen.
Quite a prediction there, Randy. Maybe. Big bonus on the line. Monique Abenizio is a tournament chairperson of Sproul Lanes. $15,000 raised also for local charities, and thanks to her great
really
staff, St. Edmund's Home for Children, Don Vanilla Village,
Do one of them once in a while.
Community Action Agency of Delaware County, all benefiting from the fine work of her staff with charity this week. An open for Wiseman, but a big smile for Danny.
Ball, man.
That's cool. He's in the final. More adjustments.
Back to the ball. Well, the last shot he threw, as soon as I mentioned anything about 300, of course, Danny's going to puke it off his hand. Yeah, imagine what could happen if he started to get a really good feel.
He's got to have a good feel with that run.
Hey, where was that 3 or 4 frames ago?
Overcoming the severe injuries of earlier in his career, Eric Forkel. A broken toe this year. Been a great week.
I'm trying to shoot 200.
Well, you need the next hit to shoot. Next hit and 6 spins, Eric, to shoot 201. And I know that Eric wanted me to send out a special hello to his coach, Len Mall, back in Phoenix area. I've worked with Lenny before, and Lenny from Eric and myself, wish you well, pal.
Forkel's big key. Can he create repetition on the TV show? The TV pair can be so bewildering for these great bowlers, the best of the world, folks. Oil responds differently. The commercial breaks, the time, the different bowlers, lefties, righties, all affect the TV pair. Just 2 lanes and the pressure of the exempt tour. So Forkel so brilliant against Parker Bohn, not nearly as good against Wiseman, who bowled so well today. It varies, and the pressure, for those of you who are new to our sport, just following it maybe for the first season, is extraordinary. Much higher than in years past because of the all-exempt field. Eric Forkel's day ends, but he feels overall he's getting closer to the days when he was dominant on the PBA Tour. Speaking of dominance, that is the case with Danny Wiseman. When we return, the Geico Direct Championship recap, we'll find out how we got to this point. The point right now, Danny Wiseman and Allen in the final. Sproul Lanes, Springfield, Pennsylvania, near Philly, side of our live coverage of the PBA Tour. NFL action coming your way. Bill Parcells head-to-head with the Patriots. What a job he's done in turning Dallas's fortunes around. It all comes your way on ESPN, 8:30 Eastern Time. Also available in stunning ESPN HD, 8:30 Eastern, preceded by NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite at 7:30 Eastern Time. So, Randy, prediction time now. PA and Wiseman, Patrick Allen, Danny Wiseman in the final. You'll stop short of saying we'll see a 300 game because Wiseman had that groove, a great feel. How do you feel about this final today?
No predictions, because I'm always wrong with predictions. But it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with Patrick Allen's ball reaction. Looked like Eric Forkel started to lose it towards the end of that match, and we all saw what Danny Wiseman did. Danny Wiseman's locked in. So it's just going to depend on what Patrick Allen has to get into this title match.
But you can tell us about the Geico Direct Championship recap, can't you?
I can.
All right.
And I will. In our wild card match, it was Eric Forkel defeating Parker Bohn III by the score of 226 to 166. Parker never had a good ball reaction. And in semifinal number 1, it was Patrick Allen defeating Rick Steelsmith by the score of 233 to 185. PA strung together 5 in a row, trying to remain in the Tournament of Champions. And as you just saw in semifinal number 2, it was Danny Wiseman defeating Eric Forkel by the score of 254 to 195. Wiseman dismantled Forkel with 8 in a row to advance to the finals against Patrick Allen.
The Geico Direct Championship recap. Patrick Allen says he's lost sleep over the exempt field for next year and the bubble for the Dexter Tournament of Champions. If he wins, he's in. If he doesn't, he's not. Last week at the PBA Toledo Open, Steve Jarris and rookie Chris Johnson locked up in a fantastic championship match that came right down to the wire. In the 10th frame, Jarris struck, then converted the 6-9-10 spare. Johnson then only needed a mark in the very last frame to win. He'd need to convert the tough 2-4-10 split for his first ever title, but could not come through. What a match. It will be Jarris' 4th career PBA title.
Well, we certainly have a feisty pair in this week's final. Patrick Allen, yesterday I was asking you about your emotion, the emotion you show out here, and you said you have to go find this other person and bring them out. Who is that other person compared to the subdued Patrick Allen?
Well, sometimes the subdued Patrick Allen gets a little scared out here. These guys are really good, and sometimes my confidence gets a little wrecked, so I have to go find that guy to make myself get out there and do what I need to do.
Well, Danny, you've been over here fidgeting in your last match. You're working on the ball, working on your thumb. What was the problem? Because based on the score in your last match, you didn't need to make adjustments.
I did. It felt terrible. I mean, with my hand and everything, just trying to get a good feel. You know, I had a piece of tape rolling up on me. I'm trying to make shots, and I got it off my hand pretty good. So I have to do that now because I don't want that other guy to come out. But if he does, bring him on, brother.
Randy, I'm thinking you're not going to get to say much this time around.
Yeah, again, we've got one of those matches. It could be two guys that are just all out, John, trash talking, a lot of strikes.
Emotion on the line for $40,000 and 25,000 points. 20,000 points have been wrapped up heading into today's action. Danny Wiseman, 18th on the tour, 47,000 plus points. Allen, 7th. As you mentioned, he's had a very good year. Second show, looks for his first win. Along the line for PA today. Big start for Wiseman. Loves it.
Just tear at every shot, man.
Advantage Danny Wiseman because he just got done bowling and he goes straight into the title match. Patrick Allen had to sit out a game.
And the oil does change considerably. Remember, there are 3 lefties, including Patrick Allen. There's a 6-pin for PA.
Thumbed it down.
As you mentioned with Leslie, beginning of the show, hasn't been feeling 100%. It's been a while. In Taylor, Michigan, October of '01. Wiseman thinks about his focus. Covers on lane 24. Baby Ruth real deal matchup in the final, Randy.
And how sweet it is. You couldn't ask for a tighter matchup. Averages only a pin a game difference. Strike percentage a little bit higher for PA. and spare conversions almost identical.
Big day potentially for each. And while we have a moment, our producer Mike Ross' daughter, Chloe, is 5 today. Happy birthday, Chloe.
Happy birthday, Chloe.
Sorry. We're sure the family in Oakland is watching closely.
And from where I'm sitting, that is a shot clock violation. First one's $100. Everyone after that, $500.
This clock at 11 when he releases. 3-pin for Patrick.
High and then light.
Do to me, horse.
Being informed that that was not a shot clock violation, something distracted Patrick Allen, so therefore there is no fine. But he did go high on the first shot on the right lane. Left lane, he goes light. Still trying to get dialed in, even though he had practice.
Picks up the mark there. Patrick 1-1 career title games with a 241 average. So pair of appearances, championship match. He's bowled well. Strike for an early 11-pin lead for Wiseman. Working on a strike. Second frame. Wow. Stays scorching hot.
Looked like he got that ball in a pitch, and it squirted down the lane just that extra 2 feet, got the ball flush. And when a professional player sees something like that, talk about getting big eyes. You heard Danny, he just said himself, he missed left, the ball laid there, held line. That's a really good thing to happen to you in the championship match, bowling for your career for the next year, and knowing that you have a little bit of room to the pocket.
Didn't like it. Through the nose. Luckily not a split
time for that to hurt.
3-6.
Hand pain, you heard him say it.
As he mentioned with Leslie, wrist issues. He had it examined in Ohio last week. He's got it wrapped. A lot of pain upon release.
A lot of stuff on that hand. Look out.
Look out, he chops it and leaves the 6 in open frame from the 8 of 10 strikes in the semis. A great start, and now trouble.
Even though this is a rubber spare ball, watch it hook about a foot or so in front of the 3-pin, or the 3-pin, and chops it right off the 6. And as big as Danny's eyes got after the second frame, the momentum just shifted to PA. Now let's see if Patrick Allen can find his strike line.
A big opening for Patrick Allen. Can he take advantage? Wow. Get some help. First strike of the championship match. Third frame.
Come on, Tommy D. Gotta do it for you, Hoss. Gotta do it for you. Come on.
Not sure who he's referencing.
Tommy DeLutz Jr., Tommy D.
Okay, I'll go there. Tommy DeLutz Jr.
He's talked to you. He's talked to Tommy himself. It's quite a conversation. You can't argue with a success.
This is the big shot, though. He went light. Let's see what kind of adjustment he makes.
Does he read the lane properly?
Yeah, baby!
He answers the question himself. A double for Allen, third and fourth. 13-pin lead in the finals against Wiseman. PBA Tour rolling on. The Greater Philadelphia Open, Sproul Lanes. We're in the finals. Patrick Allen and Danny Wiseman with our great crew. Dave Ryan, Randy Peterson, Leslie Goodell Laneside to get this far. Patrick Allen got by Rick Steelsmith. Wiseman over lefty Eric Forkel. And in the wild card, we saw the early result. Trick shot magic from Baltimore. Danny Wiseman's hometown is coming up. Uniroyal Tire Rock and Roll, Randy. The wild card match with Parker Bohn III.
Yeah, normally when you think of uniroll rock and roll, you think something real exciting. Well, here's Parker shooting the 3-pin. But this is what happens when 16 pounds hits that 3-pound, 6-ounce wood. Look out!
Who can we bill for that? Will Parker take care of that cost?
I don't know.
Trying to rebound from the open in the third. Here is Wiseman. Oh, 10-pin.
Wiseman said during the break he's only missed 2 spares the entire week, and one of them was in the 3rd frame.
God, it's too loose.
He's having serious issues right now with feel. It's the first 10-pin he's left in 2 games. Some kind of feel he has in a spare ball.
We're headed to Latham, New York. Capital City District, Albany area next week on the PBA Tour. And action starts at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, 10 on the West Coast here on ESPN. It's live coverage. Don't miss the best bowlers in the world. Doug Kent trying to defend his title. Up in Latham. For more, log on ESPN.com. 1 Eastern Time, the Empire State Open. And if Danny Wiseman, Randy, wins today, he tells us he will take next week off. He'll earn the exempt status and get a chance to rest his painful injury.
Go back to the doctor, get some treatment, get that thing taken care of.
Great shot.
That's it.
Shreds the rack.
And I know Dale Ballard will agree with me when I say this. As your opponent starts to apply pressure, which is what Patrick Allen's doing to Danny Wiseman, your body temperature increases, and it's even harder to hold on to it.
Three-pin lead with a strike, looking for the turkey. Oh. No. Difficult split.
Good pitch. Good
2,
pitch.
4, 7, 10.
This ball's going to go right through the schnozola.
Shot.
He's being facetious. He threw it poorly, got it in. Ball did not hold line. He's got to get it over here, slide the 2 into the 10. The ball will take out the 4-7.
Wiseman had an open. Remember that on the 3rd. What happens now? Big shot. Wow. Big cover.
Instead of going to a strike ball, moving right, and trying to feed it to the left and get it the hook, watch what he does. He stands all the way over to the left side, throws his plastic spare ball in a straight line. It hooks just a little bit in the back part of the lane. He covers that split perfectly.
9-pin lead for Patrick Allen.
Don't shut it down.
From Tarrytown, New York, Westchester County. Tappan Zee Bridge near his hometown, crosses the Hudson River, and you take one of several highways into the Big Apple. He's not far from New York City at all. Hoping to get closer to a win. Exempt status. And off that Dexter Tournament of Champions bubble. He's squarely on it right now. He can move to second of the points with a victory and take the spot of Emleto Monticelli, the Venezuelan star. 25,000 points on the line. Our march to the PBA World Championship in Ypsilanti. End of our season. One of 4 majors. Regular stop for a major. It's a big one for Wiseman and Allen. And a great shot from Danny.
Danny just took a 1-pin lead with that strike in the 6th frame. Both players working on a strike in the 6th. Danny's working on a double. If the players go to the wall, if they strike out from this point on, Danny Wiseman would shoot 256 and win by a pin.
Just an hour, 15 minutes from his hometown of Baltimore. Danny didn't get back. However, his mom is here. And stepdad, Jerry and Dorothy Potter. Great to see them here in person. Always wants us to give a shout out to his family watching whenever he's on TV. Very close to his mom.
Okay.
Didn't go home, have a hotel booked through yesterday. He said, boy, much to my chagrin, I've got to pay for one more night. But it's worth it. He's on TV and now playing for the big money.
Wow.
Light. 210.
Boy, it looked like a bad shot. It looked like he overthrew it, threw it too hard,
Good
and
pitch
got
for
it
me,
right.
too. Got it.
Fast and too far to the right. That ball's not going to get back because there's just not enough friction out there. Looks like he's fighting his feel. You're fighting a feel, trying to make the ball get in the 1-3. Have a tough go.
Look out. Look at the split conversion number way down. Under 7%. Huge shot. 7th frame. Needs it.
Oh man.
Boy, Rick thought he saw it. Just unreleased. Didn't like
That's
the
nice.
footing at all. He struggled with his footing last week, as did several bowlers in Toledo. Oh, is he upset?
And for a guy of Danny's caliber, I mean, that one wasn't even in the ballpark. You lose footing. Normally you pull it. Last week we saw Leto having trouble with his slide foot continuing and not being able to plant on that shot. And when he does that, he loses the ball left. That's what Danny Wiseman just did. PA in the driver's seat.
Big strike. 25-pin lead. Patrick Allen looking for a second career title. From Baltimore, the hometown of Danny Wiseman, the trick shot magic is coming up. That's next on ESPN. Danny cannot believe 2 opens. 3rd and 7th frames. The turkey ball here will give Patrick Allen a 35-pin lead. Firmly in command.
Whoa.
Didn't like the approach.
Whoa. One of the things he talked about, he can't get started too fast. He said he's going to pay for it. That is a shot clock violation. That one's official. But you know what? Rather pay the fine than to throw a bad shot right here, because this frame right here will set Patrick Allen up for victory. You get 25 seconds from the time the ball comes out of the ball return.
He's down to $39,900 if he wins. He'll take that $100 hit, though, gladly. Oh! 7-pin.
All right. Spare here. He's going at 214. Danny Wiseman, the best he can do if he strikes out is 220. First things first, let's convert the 7-pin.
Dating way back to 0-2. Good numbers for Patrick Allen. He's perfect today. Needs to stay perfect. And he will. Takes out number 7.
We talked about it before. You want to be a player on the pro tour, you got to make spares, because the lane conditions on the tour are not like what you bowl on at home. When you don't hit the pocket, you got to leave yourself something you can make, and you better make it.
As things stand, max potential of a 14-pin win for Patrick Allen. Down goes the 10 late.
Boy, he needed that one.
Did he ever?
If Patrick Allen doesn't double again, he's going to shoot 214. Danny Wiseman has now set himself up to still win this tournament.
Despite the 2 open frames. Isn't that something?
And I will say that this is a must-strike frame for Danny Wiseman. If he doesn't strike in the 9th, in my opinion, he will not win or have a chance to win this tournament.
So it comes down to the pressure. All exempt status for next year. 11th career title on the line. Needs it badly. Came in high.
Pulled it. Looked like it was left the entire way.
Move left to get away from the hang spot and it hooks more.
Well, now he just moved left in the same zone that Rick Steelsmith was
Totally
playing.
lost that lane.
Patrick Allen is going back to the Tournament of Champions. All he has to do is stay behind the foul line in the 9th and 10th, and he's going to go on to be our champion.
6-7, almost an impossible spare to convert. Trying to kick it across the deck to the 7-pin, cannot. And it's a virtual lock that Patrick Allen will win his second career title, take himself right off the bubble of the Dexter Tournament of Champions. Had there been a new winner in that list this week, would have been out. Kurt Pilon, Dave Arnold already knocked out. Tommy DeLuce Jr. and Mika Korbunemi are next on that list.
Well, if he gets 9 here, that's going to give him 180 in the 9th frame. All he needs is a mark. If Danny Wiseman strikes out, Danny Wiseman can only shoot 188. 9 here, 180, and 9 pins in the 10th frame, and he's going to win by at least 1.
We saw that stat a moment ago. Only career title in Michigan. And as Randy laid it out for you. He's on the verge. Second career title.
9 pins and 2 balls. Patrick Allen is a winner.
Oh, my goodness gracious, Patrick.
Did not want the open in the foundation frame. Trick shot magic from 0-1. And Baltimore, Maryland is next. As things stand, a lefty trying to become the second southpaw of our season, along with Jason Couch, to win on tour. Be the 6th different winner in 6 stops. On night 23, that will wrap it up. Yes! Patrick Allen is a winner on the PBA Tour once again.
You take it out on.
Second time in his career. The sweet taste of victory for Patrick Allen.
Ron Hickler, Eddie Gallagher. Anybody.
Shout out to his friends back home. He's been talking to
Joe.
Randy. Fellow bowlers as well. All of his friends have helped him through to a victory. We'll fast track to the end since it has been wrapped up by Patrick Allen. Danny Wiseman has a second consecutive great week. But again, he'll fall short.
And it's just amazing to watch, especially on wood surface, what happens to the lanes and the kind of transition they go through. Could you imagine bowling a 9-game block with 4 bowlers on a pair of lanes, crossing the house? I mean, it's just, that's how tough it is just to get to this point. And then have to get on television for a 1-game match.
Good job, man.
Try to advance further and win a title.
Patrick's sister Sheila, who's come to us from Peekskill, New York, not far from the city as well, enjoying the moment. And what a day in Greater Philadelphia for Patrick Allen. He takes care of Danny Wiseman, 200 to 178. Patrick Allen is exempt for next. ESPN's exclusive live coverage of the PBA Greater Philadelphia Open is brought to you by Miller High Life. To live simply, proudly, boldly, manly, this is the High Life. By New Odor Eaters Plus, the only arch-supporting insole that protects against odor and wetness. And by Uniroyal, the official tire of the PBA Tour. Uniroyal tires, trusted by American families since 1892. Robert Smith, Norm Duke, Brian Himmler, Jason Couch, Steve Jarris, and now Patrick Allen, champions of the PBA Tour this year.